The Go-Go's have reached Broadway, but on hitting that milestone, they're looking back at, well, some bumpy roads, some substance abuse, and things going flying across the room. I'm John Bowden from Rock History Music. Their Broadway show, which of course features all their music, takes place in the Elizabethan era. It wouldn't have been the first thing that came to mind when I think of the Go-Go's, considering how rough and raw they were when they first came to the scene in 1978. Lead singer Belinda Carlisle says in the late 70s, no record executive really wanted to take them seriously because they were all girls. But they were, of course, signed up, and they did good. The band had 5 top 40 hits: Our Lips Are Sealed, and We Got the Beat in 1981, Vacation from 1982, and when they talk about Vacation in the clip, which is on CBS Sunday Morning, I know this is my second story from CBS Sunday Morning, all the girls in the band are very honest about the fact that they were drunk during the filming of Vacation. It was a 14-hour shoot, they were really bored, they were really tired, and they just started drinking up a storm. And if you look at the video, I had to after I heard them say this, if you look at the video on YouTube, you can tell they're sloshed because the part where they're on the water, that's the part where they were gone. And by the time they filmed that, it was just too little too late. After that, the band had 2 more hits, both in 1984, Head Over Heels and Turn to You. Interestingly, this group only had 4 studio albums. In the interview, Jane Wiedlin says the band is like a 5-headed monster together. That's like a ball of energy that can be a force for good or a force for evil. Besides the substance abuse during the interview, the girls admit that they fought a lot at times and threw things at each other. Things were flying through the room. Wiedlin says we'd always keep hurting each other and keep forgiving each other and healing and trying to grow. And that's how I feel we're all at this point. And what about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Wiedlin says, you can't take away the fact that we were the very first successful all-female band that wrote all their own songs and played all our own instruments. You may be thinking the Bangles, they came in 1982. They had 8 top 40 tunes, including 2 number 1s, something the Go-Go's never had. They came close with We Got the Beat, which peaked at number 2. The Bangles also employed a lot of studio musicians, even though the girls all played on those albums. Interestingly, though, for the Go-Go's, there was only one, in the 80s at least, guest on their album. It's a sax player. And the Go-Go's debut album went to number 1 in the US. The highest the Bangles ever got was number 2. And then, of course, I know what you're thinking, the Runaways, which came before the Bangles. Well, the thing about the Runaways is they weren't that successful. They have grown with time. And I know the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, okay, before you write down your comments, I know it's not about commercial success. It's about the influence and the mark and the politics behind the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I don't know. Joan Jett got in 2015, but so far, not the Runaways. I would think the Runaways will eventually get in. Even though they were, I mentioned the Go-Go's were raw, the Runaways were really raw, even though half the members have greatly improved with time, of course. What do you think? Make sure you comment on our videos. We love the comments. We read them every day. Subscribe to our channel and keep sharing them. We appreciate that. I'm John Bowden from Rock History Music.